Alright guys, it's Matt with Thrive Off Grid. So just another shop update. We just completed the fourth quarter production cycle of 2021, and I will begin quarter one production for 2022 starting next week. So these guys here will start shipping out possibly as early as Friday, but majority of them will ship out next week. Machines are done, all the components are ready. So what I wanted to do is kind of go over you know, what to expect when you receive a unit after it ships. So basically what we do, well actually this batch was the first batch of the 2022 models, so I did fully assemble them. Ideally we're going to ship them with, you know, the brackets removed, and then your fusion module will ship in a separate box. So next systems that ship, you will have to assemble those items, and this just simply bolts onto the back. There's a total of 5 bolts that bolted on, and then you have to apply some sealant because there's a port in here that the gas goes through, so you have to seal around that, and then you bolt it together. And you'll have to remove the service covers, which is fairly straightforward. If you have one of those, that makes life a lot easier. You can pop this apart in, you know, less than a minute. Yeah, and then you'll have to assemble the wheels and the bottom bracket. But other than that, the water drip tank, the water tank will come assembled, and the water drip feed tube. So yeah, that's what you should expect on next shipments. But on these, I fully assembled them just because they're a fresh redesign, and this is the final design. These aren't going to change again for a long time. There's always you know, manufacturing revisions, you know, to make manufacturing run smoother, but for the most part these are quite refined. This is 10 years of development, and you know, this is the result of that. So these are pretty well thought out. Alright, so once you get it out of the box, basically the gasifier module will be in a separate box than the fusion, of course. And then inside you'll open your lid, and then you'll find your accessory kit, and that'll have your gas tubes. So pull them out. This is your high temp hose. And then your sawdust filter, and then we tape the carry handle down, because when it pops open, it can get caught and it'll be difficult to remove. So I don't know if you can see down in there. Of course I didn't bring a flashlight, but the grate is removable. So this is what the grate looks like. I don't know if I can turn the flash on. Nope, don't look like I have that option. Alright, so this here is your jet. So that's your jet, and then this tube right here, this is your water drip feed tube. And then if you can see those holes, see if there's another one where it's more visible. You can see the holes here. that's your air inlet. And if you look in here, the tube, this tube here terminates right where them holes. So as the air is coming in there at the higher velocity, it's grabbing a hold of the water drips and breaking the water tension. Otherwise you'll have flow issues. So that was the solution for that. And then that atomizes the water and coats the jet nozzle. I wish I would have brought a flashlight out here so you can see the jet in here. Let me, actually I think we got one that kind of works. It might work for a second. So that's where the nozzle sticks out into the reaction chamber. And then back here you have a gas pickup tube that feeds into a chamber that's built into the back here, and then from there it goes into your coarse filter. Now this coarse filter has a bag filter made out of stainless steel, and this is a filter mesh, and this is commonly used for dust particles. So what happens is the dust will accumulate on here and create a cake, and that cake is actually what becomes your filter. And then as this thing as it restricts, it'll expand and contract, and it'll flake off the cake, and then it'll keep rebuilding over and over. So this is pretty much a maintenance-free filter system. Took a lot of thought to get to there. Probably have to service that maybe once every 6 months to possibly even a year. Just depends on how much you use it. I mean, that's like daily use. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Alright, so now this here is your startup blower. Now these blowers are extremely powerful, so you may want to opt for a speed controller. We don't supply this. You can buy these at Harbor Freight for like they're like 20 or 30 bucks, but you have control over that. Here, hold on, I will demonstrate that. So to start it, you basically open this valve. That's your flare valve. That's your motor. This is your connector for power. So I'm going to get the cord for that. And then inside the ammo box is where you'll find your power cord. And then you'll plug this into the speed control. And then the speed control plugs into an AC power supply. Now those that'll go, if I'm off grid and then I don't have AC, how am I going to power it? Well, you just buy a cheap 400, 600 watt, actually 600 watt small inverter will do the job for this, and then you can run it on DC. Again, another low cost item. I think we're like 30-40 bucks. AC motors are a bit more powerful. We did DC for years and they're underpowered. I mean, these things light up and you can be engine running in less than 30 seconds. So with this is all the way down. So you got plenty of power to get you going. Oh, and then This flame cutout, our logo, is for lighting it. So this is where you'll take a torch. My starter don't work, but that's where you'll light this, and then you should get a flare. Charcoal doesn't flare as easily as wood gas, normal wood gas does, but you can get it to flare. Sometimes if you just give it a little bit of water, that'll help. But the added hydrogen will help make it a little more volatile. Alright, so here is your ammo box filter. We no longer do the pancake filter. This is actually a much better system. This here is your engine attachment. This basically, you're going to take your air cleaner off your carburetor and bolt this in place of the air box. And then your quick connect hose system. Let me see if I can put you on the floor here. The dog has got to be in the video. She doesn't understand. Alright, so down here, that's an aluminum fitting. All the rest are plastic. Aluminum goes to aluminum, plastic goes to plastic. Keep that in mind. It can get a little warm here, so this is why we use aluminum at this stage. And then the hose will supply cooling. So this is your aluminum coupling. And this just attaches like so. Okay, so now we'll grab your ammo box. So this port here is the inlet of the filter. And these here have locks. A little hard to do one-handed. Okay. Now, so that is high temp hose. This stuff's expensive. It's over 20 bucks a foot. This stuff here is about $3 and something cents, about $4 a foot. But after it's cooled, it's plenty. Oh. Come on, camera, focus. I don't know if it likes the stripes. Alright, so, and then this here, so if you had this attached to your engine, it would basically attach like that. So that would go to your engine. This is your mixer valve. Now I do the mixers remotely. We used to put them on the engine, but until we started breaking carburetors right off the engine, you don't want to do that. You put that extra weight on there, it'll snap the bolts off, and generally they snap flush right at the block. So that's lots of fun to fix. So we don't do that anymore. And it's actually nicer because then you don't got to deal with the engine vibration. When you're trying to fine-tune this, you know, you're making, you know, really minute adjustments when you're adjusting this in, and then the engine can knock it out of adjustment too. So it's better to have it remote. So here's your ammo box filter. Now if you look in here, there's the same screen that we use for the bag filter and the Fusion is used here, and that is simply just to keep the sawdust from flowing through it. I wish this camera would focus. Maybe that'll help. Alright, so I'm blocking the light. Okay, so the reason this is here, besides, you know, sucking all your dust out of there, it's also to spread out the surface area from where the hose is sucking the gas through. You don't want to be to a fine focal point. It'll just pack up and clog. So you want to expand that out a bit, so that it'll breathe a little better. And then all you simply do, you're processing wood, right? If you're running a gasifier, you're going to be processing wood. You're going to have plenty of this. So this is that's your filter media. Chainsaw dust, circular saw, chop saw, just any kind of dust will work. Alright, and then that's it. It's ready to rock. When that gets dirty, just simply uncouple your hose. The lid actually comes right off. And you can dump it into your compost. Simple as that. Now if you notice the inlet, there's no screen there. So that's why I don't cut this handle off. Or actually this is a stop for the lid latch. But so you can carry it like so. So you're not dumping your sawdust out while you're carrying it back. Alright, so I know it was a little shaky. I hope it wasn't too unbearable to watch. So anyways, that's where we're at. Like I said, next week we start 2022 Q1 manufacturing, and these guys ship out. And then I have a fairly light build schedule, so I'll be working on development machines this quarter. I'll have a much higher focus there. We have the 5 kilowatt power generators to build. We got 4 or 5 of those. 5 M4 Alpha units I'll be building. Here's another M4, and then there's 2 more M2 mules over here. So all this stuff will be getting staged for paint here, and then I'll be building all the rest of the stuff, like the water tanks, the lids, actually a lot of that stuff's already built. Over here is where we keep the paint stuff, where everything gets painted, and then it gets inventoried. And then this is our weld fittings. And then over here is the electrical systems, which I'll be getting into more when we get into the generator build. Oh, and then yeah, next development, we do have something new. We will be bringing back a raw fuel gasifier back to market. However, we will not be using that to run an engine. This is how you run an engine. You use charcoal. Don't. I lost you. So yeah, like I said, you're not losing your energy to through the engine, the internal combustion engine inefficiencies. You're using it directly, so it's a direct conversion. So now the idea with that system is it will produce charcoal as it's being used for the gas supply, for the natural gas and NG appliances. And then that's going to reduce your electrical need, right? So that's less charcoal you need to produce. So it's going to be a huge efficiency gain. It's going to be a game changer. So the charcoal that you produce from that system will be used in these guys for your engine power, and then the gas produced from that process will be used in your natural gas stove, natural gas hot water heater, on-demand hot water heater, your gas dryer, gas oven range, LP and NG refrigeration units, which is the way to go. I live in an RV, and my RV running on LP, a 40-pound tank, will last at least a month, actually about 6 weeks. And you know, electric, if I run on electric, it'll smoke my battery bank in a couple hours, which I usually get after about a 6-hour charge. I get a 24-hour run off my battery system. So 2.4 kilowatt battery pack, and I'm probably not even using that because the inverter peaks out at 15 volts, so I'm not even able to fully charge those batteries because they go way beyond 15 volts or 16. The peak charge rate for them is 16 volts. So alright, so anyways, thanks for watching, and you know, subscribe to our Facebook page, and check out our forum too. You might want to subscribe there. I do keep that up to date along with the Facebook page if you want updates on what we're doing and any new developments. Alright, so that'll conclude this video. Thanks a lot for watching.